Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Chosen ones, listen carefully to these words. For this message you receive tonight is a divine mandate, a sacred responsibility entrusted to you by Allah Himself. It is not a simple call, but a command charged with light and power. This mandate elevates you, distinguishes you, but also demands total, unwavering commitment. You have been chosen to carry out a unique mission, a crucial role in the divine plan. This mandate is not limited to a superficial belief, but requires deep commitment, absolute dedication, and unfailing inner strength. To ignore this call, to neglect it, or to reject it would be to stray from the wisdom of Allah and to lose the opportunity for spiritual elevating oneself. Tonight, the veil is lifted on your destiny. This divine mandate is not for everyone, but only for those who have been prepared, purified, and strengthened through trials. It is an immense honor, but also a heavy burden, for with light comes responsibility. Are you ready to embrace this mandate? Are you ready to leave behind doubts, fears, and hesitations, and fully embrace your mission? This message is a powerful reminder that the time has come to rise up, commit yourself, and walk with confidence on the path marked out by Allah. Do not take this word lightly. This mandate is the key to your true elevation, the path to a life filled with meaning, inner peace, and spiritual success. It is not a burden, but a divine gift, a unique opportunity to achieve closeness to Allah. Today, this message comes to awaken your soul, illuminate your path, and call you to a sacred responsibility. Elected officials, do not let this mandate fade into oblivion or neglect. Answer this call with faith, courage, and determination. Understanding this divine mandate is essential to grasping the importance of the mission entrusted to you. In Islam, a mandate is not a simple task or an ordinary responsibility, but a sacred commitment that Allah entrusts to His chosen ones to act according to His will, with justice, wisdom, and devotion. This mandate is both a privilege and a duty, as it demonstrates the immense trust that God places in you. This divine mandate is to be a guardian of the faith, a defender of justice, a model of virtue and a beacon of light in a world sometimes obscured by ignorance and injustice. Allah expects His chosen ones to embody the values of Islam in every aspect of their lives, to be living examples of patience, compassion, integrity, and courage. This mandate is not limited to isolated acts of devotion, but extends to all your relationships, your actions, your words, and even your thoughts. It demands total coherence between what you believe and what you live, a harmony between your inner faith and your outward behavior. It is a call to live fully according to the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah. By carrying out this mandate, you become an essential link in the chain of transmission of divine truth. You are called to teach, to advise, to support those who go astray, to fight against injustice and oppression, always with wisdom and gentleness. Your mission is as much social as it is spiritual, for Islam teaches that faith without righteous action is incomplete. It is also important to understand that this divine mandate requires total commitment, a surrender of oneself to Allah with sincerity and humility. This is not a role to be undertaken half-heartedly or with hesitation. You are invited to demonstrate unwavering determination, to face challenges with faith, and to persevere despite obstacles. You do not carry this mandate alone. Allah guides you, assists you, and grants you the strength necessary to fulfill your mission. Through prayer, dhikr, and trust in His wisdom, you can find the courage and patience to move forward, even when the road seems difficult. Divine mandate is also a source of honor and spiritual pride. Knowing that you have been chosen for such a responsibility should fill your heart with gratitude and inspire you to excel. But remember that this pride must always remain humble, for all greatness comes from Allah alone.
Finally, understanding this mandate also means accepting the sacrifices it entails. Sometimes you will have to give up fleeting pleasures, face misunderstandings, or even rejection. But these sacrifices are necessary steps to growing spiritually and fully fulfilling your mission. This divine mandate is therefore a call to a new life, an existence guided by the light of Allah, a commitment to truth and justice. It is time to become aware of this responsibility, to bear it with pride and dedication, and to walk confidently on the path traced by your faith. Ignoring or neglecting this divine mandate is a mistake with serious consequences, both spiritually and communally. Allah entrusted this role to the chosen ones with the confidence that their commitment would be firm and sincere. Yet, when this mandate is set aside, not only do divine blessings recede, but imbalance also sets in around those who should have been pillars of light. Neglecting this mandate leads to a gradual drift from the path of Allah, a weakening of faith, and a loss of essential spiritual bearings. Those who abandon this responsibility expose themselves to inner confusion, weakness in the face of temptation, and a growing sense of spiritual emptiness. But the consequences are not limited to the individual. In a community, when elected officials falter or forget their mission, the entire society suffers. Justice falters, truth fades, and injustices take root more easily. The absence of spiritual and moral leaders gives way to division, chaos, and the neglect of sacred values. The Quran and the Sunnah emphasize this responsibility. Allah says, "O you who believe, be firm in your faith, and do not be led astray." Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:54. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also reminded us that every Muslim is responsible for his actions. But those to whom Allah entrusts a mission have an additional responsibility, a duty of vigilance and perseverance. Negligence can take many forms: inaction in the face of injustice, weakness in faith, abandonment of prayer or kindness, or even silence in the face of trials that befall the community. All of these attitudes gradually distance the chosen one from his divine mandate. It is crucial to realize that this mandate is not optional nor a mere suggestion. It is a sacred commitment, a covenant with Allah. Neglecting it jeopardizes not only one's own salvation, but also that of those who depend on your light and guidance. Sometimes fear, fatigue, or the temptation of easy comfort can lead us to neglect this responsibility. But it is precisely in these moments that we must redouble our efforts, draw on faith and trust in Allah, and remember that the divine reward is immense for those who stand firm. Elected officials are therefore called to constant vigilance, to a commitment renewed every day. Negligence is a subtle trap that can creep in insidiously. We must remain alert, nourish our faith, and constantly remind ourselves of the sacred weight of this mission. This reminder is a warning but also an invitation to reconcile with this mandate. If you feel you have weakened, it is never too late to return to Allah. Renew your commitment and rise again with strength. Ultimately, never forget that this divine mandate is a source of light and strength, but also a responsibility to be taken seriously. The world needs elected officials who do not give up, who march forward with determination, and who honor the sacred covenant entrusted to us by Allah. Fully fulfilling this divine mandate requires specific qualities, for this mission is not for those who give in easily or lack determination. Patience is the first virtue necessary, for on the path you take, you will inevitably encounter trials,
that will put your faith to the test. You must endure steadfastly without ever losing hope or becoming discouraged. Courage is also essential. God's mandate asks you to stand up in the face of injustice, to defend the truth even if it means hostility or loneliness. This courage doesn't mean recklessness, but the inner strength that drives you forward despite obstacles and criticism. Humility should guide your every action. Even if you carry a sacred mandate, it is essential to remember that everything comes from Allah. Pride can easily corrupt and deviate from the path. Humility allows you to remain sincere, recognize your limitations, and constantly seek divine guidance. Perseverance is also key. The spiritual path is long and sometimes fraught with obstacles. You must maintain your determination, renew your commitment with each challenge, and never give up, even when results are slow to appear. Sincerity is the glue that binds all these qualities together. Without sincerity, neither patience, courage, nor humility can bear lasting fruit. Your commitment must be exclusively for Allah, without seeking human recognition or praise. Avoid the traps of excessive fear, paralyzing doubt, or procrastination. These feelings can distract you from your mission and weaken your faith. Rather than giving in to these emotions, use them as signals to strengthen your connection to Allah and redouble your efforts. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, exemplified these qualities perfectly. His entire life is a model of patience in the face of hardship, courage in adversity, humility despite greatness, and constant perseverance. By following him, you equip yourself to fulfill your mandate. Finally, cultivate hope and confidence. Even when the road seems dark, remember that divine light guides those who place their trust in Allah. This divine mandate is not an insurmountable burden, but an opportunity for spiritual elevation. By developing these qualities, you prepare yourself not only to fulfill your mandate, but also to become a source of inspiration for your community, a living example of the power of faith. To fulfill this divine mandate, it is crucial to move from understanding to concrete action. Faith without works remains incomplete, and this mandate requires visible commitment in your daily life, in your family, your community, and your relationship with Allah. Start by strengthening your prayer, this direct connection with the Creator. Regularity, concentration, and sincerity in Salat are not only obligations, but powerful ways to renew your spiritual strength and receive divine guidance and support. Dhikr, or remembrance of Allah, must become a constant habit. Repeating the names of Allah, meditating on His attributes, and keeping your heart fixed on Him will protect you from distractions and keep you on the straight path. Engage in acts of kindness as well. Help the needy, comfort the grieving, forgive those who hurt you. These actions embody the very essence of God's mandate, to be an agent of peace and love in an often troubled world. Teaching and transmitting Islamic values are an integral part of your mission. Whether through words, example, or support, help illuminate the path of those seeking the truth. Be a defender of justice, denouncing injustices with wisdom and courage, without hatred or violence. The fight for social justice is a natural extension of this sacred mandate. Also, don't neglect the importance of inner purification. Move away from bad habits, grudges, and toxic behaviors that can hinder your spiritual progress. Finally, build strong relationships with your family and community. God's mandate is also fulfilled in your daily life, in the way you interact with others, in your patience and generosity. These concrete actions are the visible fruits of your spiritual commitment. They nourish your faith, strengthen your position as a chosen one, and help create an environment where divine light can fully flourish. Trials are inevitable on the path of the chosen ones who carry a divine mandate. Every step toward elevation is accompanied by challenges that test faith, patience, and steadfastness. These obstacles are not punishments, but means by which Allah refines the soul, purifies it, and prepares it for a greater light. When you face opposition, whether from outside or within, it is essential to understand that it is both a challenge and a privilege. Opposition pushes you to strengthen your conviction, refine your wisdom, and prove your sincerity. The chosen are not those who escape difficulties, but those who overcome them with faith and dignity. Spiritual solitude is another major challenge. As you carry out this mandate, you may sometimes feel isolated, misunderstood, or even rejected by those who don't share your vision or deep faith. This solitude can be a burden, but it is also a precious opportunity to strengthen your connection with Allah. It is in this divine intimacy that you find the strength to continue. The temptations of the world, material comforts, distractions, fleeting pleasures, seek to divert your attention. They may seem alluring and temporarily soothe doubts or fatigue. Yet true greatness lies in resisting these temptations. Refusing these traps affirms your commitment to the divine mandate and your loyalty to Allah. Trials can also take the form of spiritual doubts. Questions about your worth, your ability to fulfill your mission, or even the presence of Allah. These doubts are natural, but they should never keep you away from prayer, reciting the Quran, and constantly remembering Allah. Every doubt overcome is a victory that strengthens your faith. Perseverance is the key to getting through these trials. You must draw on prophetic patience, on the examples of pious predecessors who faced similar difficulties with a steadfast heart and absolute trust in divine wisdom. During these times, it is vital to maintain prayer as a refuge. Salat, dhikr, and meditation on the Quran become inexhaustible sources of comfort and guidance. They help you stay focused, find inner peace, and renew your spiritual energy. Also seek support from fellow Muslims, scholars, and spiritual guides. Sharing your struggles can lighten your burden and offer you insightful guidance. Don't struggle alone, for collective strength strengthens the individual. In these trials, be careful not to fall into despair or arrogance. Despair is the enemy of faith, while arrogance is a trap that destroys the strongest. Cultivate humility and trust in Allah, knowing that every difficulty is a step closer to divine success. Be aware, too, that these trials have a purpose greater than you can comprehend. They prepare your heart to welcome the divine light in all its power and purity. It is a purification, a refinement that makes you truly chosen, ready to fully assume your mandate. Finally, remember that Allah's reward is immense for those who endure with patience and faith. The Quran says, "And those who endure patiently, their reward is beyond measure." Surah Az-Zumar 39:10. Your efforts are never wasted. They are recorded and honored in the hereafter. So embrace these trials as blessings in disguise. Let them uplift you, strengthen you, and bring you closer to Allah. This path is not easy, but it leads to the greatest reward, divine satisfaction and eternal peace. As you come to the end of this sacred message, it is time to understand that this divine mandate entrusted to you is not a simple responsibility to be taken lightly, but a solemn calling that will shape the rest of your life and influence the destiny of many around you. You were chosen not by chance, but because Allah saw in you the strength, faith, and potential necessary to assume this mission with honor. This mandate does not stop at a single stage, nor at a single moment in your life. It is an ongoing commitment, an endless path towards spiritual perfection and divine justice. Each day is a new opportunity to renew your oath, to draw closer to your Creator, and to manifest divine light in every aspect of your life. You must understand that this spiritual elevation you are about to embrace will transform your entire being. Your heart will open to a new wisdom, your actions will be guided by a higher consciousness, and your presence will become a source of peace and inspiration for all those who cross your path. It's normal for this path to be fraught with challenges at times. Temptation, fatigue, criticism, and even loneliness may try to distract you from your mission. But remember that these challenges are merely steps that refine your soul and strengthen your resolve. Allah is always close to those who persevere with patience and sincerity. This sacred mission demands that you be a living example of faith and virtue. Your words must inspire, but your actions will speak loudest. By living by the principles of the Quran and the Sunnah, you become a beacon for those seeking truth and justice in an often troubled world. You are called to be a peacemaker, a bringer of justice, a healer of broken hearts. Through your patience, compassion, and wisdom, you can change lives, heal spiritual wounds, and open paths where none existed. Never allow pride or arrogance to hinder your mission. Remember that all greatness comes from Allah, and that your role is that of a humble servant. True power lies in humility and sincerity. It is also important to remain vigilant against worldly distractions. Fleeting pleasures, unfair criticism, and moments of doubt must not deter you from your path. Anchor yourself in prayer, dhikr, and meditation on the Quran, for there you will find strength and guidance. Your divine mandate is a sacred covenant. By fully accepting it, you commit to living your life according to Allah's will, to fighting for justice, and to spreading light around you. It's an immense responsibility, but also an infinite source of peace and happiness. Every day, remind yourself why you were chosen. Your mission is unique and precious, and your contribution to God's plan is irreplaceable. Be proud, yet humble, strong, yet gentle, committed, yet patient. The path before you is clear, even if at times it seems obscured by trials. Never give up. Keep your eyes fixed on the divine reward, on Allah's promise to those who persevere, a place of eternal peace, endless joy, and closeness to Him. In conclusion, this divine mandate is your greatest opportunity, your most sacred calling. Never neglect it, never underestimate it. Embrace it with all your heart, mind, and soul. Be a chosen one worthy of Allah's trust. May Allah bless you, protect you, and always guide you on this path of light and truth. May His peace, mercy, and blessings abound upon you and upon all those who seek His face with sincerity.